And what's up, fellas? How you
What's
doing? How
up,
you doing? How
dude?
you doing?
How we doing? Dude, today is great. Today's been I know all these people that were watching us this morning were stealing money. The things that I've seen. Also, I do want to give a quick shout out to Justin. Um he came into my live chat like 2 days ago and he was like, "Dude, I'm literally about to buy my first house now because of the gains I've made from 1348 in trading with you guys." And I was like, dude, that's fucking crazy. I was like, are you? And then again, the next day, he was like, dude, I just made enough again to pay for my down payment. And I was like, all right, bro, like relax a little bit.
What are we doing here? Like, I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. Oh man. All right, what's going on, guys? How you doing? How you doing? All right. Let's get it. So I want to get on the live stream today. Are y'all doing that today? My sister-in-law, Kin Levy, was on with the guys yesterday. Oh, he's excited. Remember, we had her on
Yep.
yesterday.
Yep.
That's actually tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is actually tomorrow. Okay, so let's get right into it, guys. We are here. You are here. And this is a public live stream. Apparently, nobody wants to join us. So, whatever.
Where
You
are
guys
they?
are here. Let's make it count. All right. So, STV, come on. I need
Oh,
you to
Sam
share your
said the link
screen.
posted in the Discord is from CPI Day. So it's a different link. Let me see. I'll go get it.
Oh, I posted the wrong one. Oh, shit.
Let me get it. I'll throw it in there right now.
All
Let's see.
right. You see, that's what happens, right? Having a conversation, and yeah, I get confused. Hey, can you post that for me?
Let's see. All right, here we go. I think we're getting back in here. Hold on, I'll throw the link in there. I just went and grabbed it.
People,
Where are you guys? Where did they go? All right, let me throw it in there.
pardon the technical difficulties. Oh, you don't rush into anything. Don't rush into anything, including TGT. Don't rush into anything I say. I think that's just because I bring up the chart doesn't mean you just go ahead and go willy nilly, right? I'm not 100% right. Not 100%.
No willy nilly.
Yeah, I am never 100%. Even though right now I am batting 100 for my brother with the spy.
That is pretty
It's
sweet. That is
I
pretty
am
sweet.
batting 100. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, all right. So we got the links into the Discord. We got the people coming on in right now. I want you again to share your screen, bro, because I want to know. I want to talk all about Tesla with you
All right,
because
man.
Tesla is so out of character for you. I mean,
I've been dipping my toe in. I've been dipping my toe into Tesla a little bit. Let me get it to where. All right, here we go. Let me share my screen here. Make this a little bigger. All right, here we go.
that's what she said.
I was gonna say that. All right, so here's essentially what I was doing on Tesla today. This is on the 1 minute. So when we're looking at Tesla here, you see if you throw this on the 5 minute, you get a nice 5 minute cross at open, but you don't really want to be flying around trading 5 minute crosses right at open. They're gonna fly around. You could have easily seen this Tesla move, rip up, come back down, and die. So you got to be very, very, very careful. So here's what I was doing on Tesla today. And I was trying to walk everybody through this and make it super simple. And it really is when you set up your orders this way. So what I was doing is I was waiting for these 1 minute rims. I think I did play this first one on the way up here. I think I caught these two candles and then waited for another rim. So I played this one. This one was a little bit wonky here. The break of the 200 running up here. But these were the trades. These two trades right here were the ones that were really solid. So here's what I did. When you started to see price action come down to the 1 minute 13 right here, which is also this previous level of support, I bought some calls. But immediately after I bought those calls, I went in and set out a limit sell. for
Oh.
about 10% profit.
Oh.
So what ended up
Nice.
happening is right on this candle as it shoots up from about 305.15 to 306.15, about a dollar move, I get taken out very quickly for a nice little
Oh.
10% gain.
Ooh. Okay, I like this. I like this. I like what you're doing here. I like what you're doing here. Okay, so
So
aside from Tesla, were you playing anything else?
I did something similar on SPY too on the way down at one point today. Um, Another one
Let's
on
really
Tesla was
talk
right here.
about the spy because me and the spy have been very, very close today. So apparently, you know how you were talking about we're doing those 2-on-1s. Yeah,
Yep.
we were gang banging the spy today for sure. You and I were definitely doing 2-on-1s up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let me see here. I'm gonna end up bringing up my chart on spy. There's a couple of things that I want to make note of,
Mhm.
right? And something that we talked about before we jumped on the stream is the importance of respecting the 200 EMA and the importance of respecting the rules of which if price action is below the 200 EMA, you're biased to puts because there's more strength in that move. Okay. Now you could easily say, well, hey, Gabe, you know, we had this pop up, right? But this was actually your bait. This was the market baiting you.
We talked
Okay.
about that today too in the morning stream. It was like they are trying to trap people into getting calls right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You got baited here. You broke over the 200 EMA. You saw those levels. Everyone got excited, like, wee, yeah, it's going to happen. No, it didn't. And we made the move to the downside. And then here we go. We hit a level here and makes our way up. And interesting enough, every single move, right? You see, we got little candles, little candles, little candles, right? But every single move that puts the spy within reach of the 200 was a fucking perfect setup. You see, the wick even touched it. You see
Mhm.
these big boom boom candles as it touched the 200. You could tell right there again, just literally baiting people. And then we get back to the 200, and of course, we're baited. And I played this rejection off the 200 courtesy of RSI. RSI led the way for me here when I saw the break below. And this is where I entered for my brother, and then I basically rode her into the put signal, made him a cool 11-12% on that play. But yeah, guys, you gotta respect these levels here because these levels are your friend.
Mhm.
They really are your friend. They are what's going to keep you from yellowing. They're what's going to keep you from having hopium, and they're going to keep your trades humble. And I think that's super super important to keep your trades humble. I think that this is something STV. Let's really talk about like your trading. I guess your trading ethos last year versus this year. I guess last year you were you always conservative, or do you find yourself being more conservative now, or do you think more surgical compared to the previous version of you?
There's definitely more context in reasoning why I'm taking trades. The really what I was doing last year was a lot of playing earnings and news. I would just wait for news to come out, flip contracts, and be done. Now the moves are a lot more surgical, like incorporating a lot more technical analysis into the trades that I'm taking, along with market context, allows you to just execute with precision all of the time. And if it goes
All of
against
the
you, your
time.
stop losses are tight.
And stop loss will always save you.
Exactly.
Um,
The
you know, Yeah. Someone in the chat had mentioned that they made their stop loss even tighter at 5%. And that's actually something, if you give yourself more time, that is
Mhm.
definitely a reasonable stop loss. And when we say more time, we're talking 2 weeks or better.
Mhm.
Um, what do you think, STB?
Yeah, I think if you're gonna go, there's kind of two trains of thought here. If you're gonna go with a 5% stop loss, the easiest way to not get hit is getting more time on your contracts. They're gonna be a little bit more expensive, but 5% stop on the trade is still gonna be the same dollar amount. If you can go in with 10% of your account, you just won't have as many contracts, which is completely fine. The other thing that you could think about is that if you're gonna be trading with a 5% stop loss, you need to figure out a way to pinpoint with precision where your entries are going to be. You have to try to not chase. You can't be chasing. Like if you see like it's basically what happened this morning with the SPY when we were on the live stream and I said it's going to come back down. They've just shot it up for no reason. They're trying to get you to buy all of these calls to stop you out and then make it do whatever it's going to do after. Maybe continue up, maybe continue back down, but they're going to try and stop you out. So you have to pinpoint your entries in order to get contracts with less time and still have that 10 or 5% stop loss.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to mention a little bit too, and something that I'm going to touch on in the curriculum video about those, just setting out those limit orders. I think from yesterday when we were talking with all of these members about when they're in trades, how they feel. I think I forget her name, but the first lady that came on with us was saying that when she was in the trade, she wanted more. She said,
Yes.
I was up this amount, but I wanted more. I bet I would say almost for 100% certainty, before you entered that trade, you would have been perfectly fine with taking 10, 15, 20% on the trade. But once it's there, you're like, oh, it could go a little bit more. Now, what those limit cells enable you to do, it doesn't have to be your entire position. Like you can scale them in, which I'll try to go over a little bit more in depth in the video I'm making for you guys. But what it does is it takes you out of it. You're no longer a part of the trade. You've set your orders in. The trade is going to do what it's going to do. It's either going to hit your take profit or it's not, and it's going to come down and get stopped out. You no longer have control to fuck up the trade, to come in and say, I want more out of this. And then you have a trade that's up 10, 15, 20% that then goes red. There's no reason to have that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I did, I guess the best way to like think about it is if, okay, in a game of basketball, right? If you're down by 10, unless you're Golden State, because those guys are the cheat code, right? I mean, you're down by 10. What do you want? You want 5 easy baskets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're high percentages. So 5 easy layups. Ideally, that's what you want, right? Now, when you shoot a 3, it's a lot more risky, right? So basically what I'm saying is do not turn a layup into a 3-point shot. If you know you got it in the basket at 10%, that's your layup. Just be done with it, right? Essentially, by holding, what you're doing is you're kicking it out, and you're hoping it's Stephen Curry or Steve Kerr behind the line, but it's actually fucking Shaq. He's not hitting that 3.
Mm-hmm.
You could barely hit a foul line shot. But with that being said, it's just taming your emotions and really understanding, like, hey, this is my layup, right? And for instance, if we go ahead and we look at the SPY, the way I was playing it with my brother, and I mentioned this in the stream earlier today, I really forget, like percentages are percentages, right? But the percentage impacts are very, very different on a $100,000 account versus a $10,000 account. But by virtue of me, it's my brother. He's not paying me to do this, so I feel like I'm within my right to help him. However, I really found myself literally glued to the rules because, it's. I don't want to look like a jackass to my brother. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by virtue of me winning the way I'm winning and taking those wins, those layups, if you will, right? But what it's done is it's actually inspired him to say, like, dude, I got to sit down with you and really, really learn this, right? And for those who have adopted the base hit mindset, you guys know who you are. You're absolutely fucking killing it. Whether it's a $10,000 account or a $20,000 account, the thing is that if you pay your $20,000, if you have a $10,000 account, which eventually becomes a $20,000 account, but you play your $20,000 account in the same way you played your $10,000 account, guess what? You're actually making more money. It's just by virtue of the size of your portfolio, right? So, I mean,
the next double gets you to 40. Then the next double gets you to 80. If you're playing the game of doubles, what is it? 1,000 is 9 doubles away from 1,000,000 or something? Don't go
Exactly.
fucking YOLOing, please. Don't do that
Don't
crap.
YOLO. It's just you need 9 doubles.
Mhm.
That's it. You know, and what people don't understand as well is that a 10% double on your portfolio, or excuse me, a 10% gain on your portfolio doubles in 7 trading days.
Mhm.
That's math.
It's just
You,
simple
you
math.
see, it's so I mean, it's patience in this game, and I guess the only thing I talked about this earlier in the stream for those who didn't watch earlier in the stream. It was really funny because like the market literally baited everybody. Everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, unemployment better than expected." The thing is depends what side you're looking at it from.
Mhm.
The market
Mhm.
doesn't want unemployment
They don't need it
going
better.
down.
It
They
gives
want it
it
going
dude,
up.
well, yeah, you do, but it gives the Fed a little bit more room to say, like, "Screw you, I'm going in with more rate hikes." Like, higher ones, like,
Yes.
more I just think and then the Fed or the Atlanta Fed comes out today and is just like, "Yeah, we're now projecting GDP at, 0.5% now," and it's like, "You guys are
Well, do
great
you
at your
hear
job,
the
you started at 2.5."
Well, do you hear the World Bank is saying 5%? We need to get up
5%
to 5%
for
to
the
manage.
world?
Yeah, the World Bank's 5% to just eradicate inflation. And that's a big if. It's not happening,
Oh, rates,
right?
yeah, 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 I know, yeah.
Yeah. Because guys, what you're also seeing is first it's going to hit the market, then the trickle down effect, where it really hits your pocket is when it hits real estate, right? And
Mhm.
when it does that, that's when it really starts snowballing. So we had Dalio say that we still got 20% more downside. I don't know if you saw that article off of Bloomberg,
He's a
but
smart
uh,
dude. He's a smart dude.
he's a smart dude. I agree with him.
Yeah, there's we easily could see like 15 to 20% more downside. This is actually what I'm going to talk about a little bit later. It's like it's the concept of like is it now the time to get out of everything and just go all cash, or is it time to like well obviously we're always going to be playing the downside. Trading accounts and long-term accounts are very different, but if you are going to liquidate your entire portfolio under the assumption that most things are green, well then you have a taxable obligation of let's say 15% of your entire gain. Well, then you need the market to decrease by a significant amount in order for you to come back in and make it even worth your time to do that.
Yes. Yes. For those of you who are watching the stream on Twitter, we're here on YouTube. And if you want to learn more about 1348, you go ahead and click the link down in the description. 1348 allows you to make money even on days like this. Even when the spoken language of the market is fear, fear, we're going down, and well, our members are like, yay, we're going down.
Dude, those Invictus ones today were filthy. The move up was nasty. I was watching some of those fire off because I was like, yeah, I'm done for the day. But I was watching some of those trades play out, and I was like, oh, people must be
Yes,
just
yes,
raking it
yes.
today.
So Ryan's asking Twitter. Yes, we simulcast on Twitter as well on our 1348 channel on Twitter. So make sure you guys head on over to Twitter as well. Make sure you hit the like on that video and retweet so the world can see. Hashtag spy, hashtag whatever, hashtag 1348. But day by day, we're actually doing base hits ourselves, guys. Day by day,
Hmm.
we're changing people's lives one by one, one
Hmm.
by one. All right. Let's see. We have Harley Hellcat. I didn't take the call, but would you guys please explain why you couldn't take the call on Apple at 1:30?
At
All right, let's
1:30.
do that. You want to
Yeah,
break
let's
that
do it.
down?
Yeah, at 1:30.
Ah, there you go. It's right
This
there.
is this is an Invictus. This is Gary. Well, let me look and see if there's an Invictus over here on it. I would guess that there is. Let's see what time that fired off. 1:30. I'm guessing is right here. Yep. Let me see if I can find it. because it looks to be an Invictus trade there. And if you're catching it on the way up, it looks like it's definitely going to be giving you more than you deserve. So let's see. Invictus.
Where did that? Yes, let's find it on Invictus. Let me bring it up here.
101.
101.
So
You were
Invictus was
alerted at
alerting you
101.
right on these two candles right here. So right as it's starting to pop up, let me throw this on the 1 minute really quickly. Take a look at where
Okay, so the
101.
big boom boom candle, it's where we alerted, right?
Yes. Let me see if there's one before that. Nope. That's right around where it is. 101. So
Okay.
even if you get in on that candle, you're still getting, let's see, 153.14. Yeah, small move there. That one, I would play that looking at that on the 1 minute. If it crosses, if you see that closing candle down below on the 1 minute, that's probably my time to get out of that trade. So looking at that there, you probably would have gotten out at basically neutral. Things did start to reverse if you have the SPY in your chart too. That's the other thing, guys. Make sure that anytime you're trading an individual stock, always have the SPY up or some other large market ETF that's going to tell you this is how the overall market is moving.
Okay. Let me add some context to that, especially when playing Invictus here, right?
Yeah.
So we do have Invictus. I've actually marked this big boom boom candle, so this falls within the time frame of 101 here, right? And on something like this, especially when we're playing Invictus, and then you're getting the alert and you're attempting to assess, like, hey, am I going to get in? Well, you could see a couple of things, right? The MACD is healthy and it's moving on up, right? The ADX is really not quite there, but it is moving on up, right? So the thing is that you only have a good 10 minutes in this play, right? And that's why you go ahead and you reference the 1 minute. And the 1 minute's going to go ahead and save you 9 times out of 10, because the 1 minute's going to go ahead and break down each candle here. So this is that same candle at about 101. And then, well, this is the 101 candle right here, right? So
Yeah.
that 101 candle would have had you somewhere at about 153.60, of which you then make that move all the way up to where's this level here?
Yeah, that's a decent move.
154.20, right? But see, here's the beautiful thing. If you went ahead and marked your level on the 1 minute, we could blue pill line this, and you could see why that level was drawn. Because as we talk about price action having muscle memory, price action likes to gravitate to familiar areas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why this level also printed. So by virtue of knowing where that level was, you would have been able to, execute this trade properly. Okay. That's an Invictus trade on a 5 minute.
The other thing
Again,
she said is she was not playing Invictus. She was just looking at the 5 minute cross. So Harley, if you are looking at just 5 minute crosses, that violates the 200 EMA rule. You still see price action below the 200 EMA, so you would be biased to puts. So you would actually be waiting until you see those closing candles and how price action is going to be reacting once Apple supposedly would have gotten over the 200 EMA, but it didn't.
yes. Now, on the same token here, we have let's just stay on the 5 minute here, right? This call, by virtue of getting this call printed here on the 5 minute, there's a couple of things that you would have to consider before jumping in this call, especially if you're looking at the 5 minute. By virtue of the call being printed here on the 5 minute, you already see that the histogram has created this mound already, and it was printing light greens, right? So it was on the descent and printing consistent light greens. Also, you could see if you were hesitant and waited just a tad bit, you could see that the RSI would then cross below. So something like this, like, listen, whether it's the 5 minute, the 1 minute, the 3 minute, right? The crosses are not perfect, but your thesis can be perfected in such a way that you provide yourself a very high probability trade. And that is the whole, I guess, the whole concept of what 1348 is. All right. So yeah, moving along. Let's see. Invictus AMD. You want to talk about that one?
Which one MVP? Because I think you and I were talking about that one this morning where it just didn't make sense in my mind to be touching it. I don't know which one you're on now, but Gabe, if you throw that on the 5 minute, if you're looking at it in the morning, there's an Invictus alert like right after 10 a.m. Most recent one. Let me see.
Okay.
Let's
One
see.
second here. Let's see. Is that it? The okay, the Invictus AMD last put. It was the last put.
Yeah, can you throw
So
it on the? You're still on the one. Let's see.
we're on AMD last put.
Yeah, it's approaching. I mean, the histogram is kind of showing you that it's losing that momentum. What time was that alert? 107. Let me look at this right here.
Yes, 107.
107.
Yeah, we got 207. 207 is the alert.
Oh,
5 minute
207.
cross
Yeah,
down.
I see.
Okay. So that alert's coming in at about this candle. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and mark it, and we're going to break this down, right? Because I have I have vetted against some of the Invictus alerts right now. Invictus is doing his best to triangulate what's going on, right, between the 13 and the 48. And it has some very, very solid logic. So let's go ahead and look at this, right? Now, this is where we apply the rules. The robot or the bot has already done what it needs to do, right? It's got your eyes focused on this. Now you give it a proper 1348 analysis, right? As
Mhm.
it stands, you have an EMA sandwich between the 13 and the 200, right? So that right there, I'm going to be a little cautious. Now we got the 48, and the 48 is literally holding up price action as it stands, right? So again, there I'm going to be absolutely cautious. Now we got some discrepancies between the MACD, which is showing weakness, right? Bearish momentum showing weakness. And then you got the RSI right here. I mean, they are in agreement right now because they're trending down, but the RSI being so close to its moving average right now, at any moment, especially on the 1 minute, if you look at the 1 minute, at any moment, buyers could literally just step in and send this thing flying. All right.
Mhm.
So by virtue of proximity to the 200 and the 13, I'm probably not going to play this put. I wouldn't expect it to be a put. I think we'll have a continuation on the move. Um, that's just what I see. We also see from the peak here. We come from this peak, right, and we could see how slowly but surely ADX begins to lose steam as momentum dries up to the upside, right? So we haven't picked up any steam on the move down, and currently ADX is at 1577. So at 1577, we're nowhere near 20, which is indicating there's no strength in this move to the downside as it stands, right? We would like to see that pick up, but if we get some separation, more separation with the RSI breaking away from its moving average and pivoting down, further down, then yeah, that would validate that move. But as it stands right now, I need more information. We need more information.
Mhm.
So don't just jump into that play.
Yeah, that one AMD right now is in what I would like to call no man's land. It is right next to that 200. Typically, what I will do is I like plays that are coming down to the 200 or up to the 200 with Invictus. Those are usually pretty solid. When you see them start to break down below the 200, those can be very, very solid too. But you always have to be careful of a retest back up to the 200.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, let's move it along to Snap here. I want you to break down. We have Snap alerted here, 5 minute
Ooh,
cross down
ooh.
in 6 bars. Current price 11.97, just barely a shit stock, ladies and gentlemen. But
Ooh.
let's go ahead and break this down. This is an Invictus prediction cross down, and I honestly like it because it's not bucking the trend of the overall market, right? It's crossing down. So let's go ahead and check out Snap here.
The
And
histogram is a little bit weak. You've got a lot of downside to like 20-cent downside to the 200 EMA right now. RSI looks good. ADX looks like it's about to start peaking up again, showing you that downtrend. So it's when you see this move down and ADX coming down too, it's showing you that that uptrend that it was previously in is getting a lot weaker, and it's starting to flatten out and come back to the other side, showing you that that downtrend could be coming into effect here. I would so like we were talking about, I would almost wait for another solid red bar on the histogram for the MACD in order to get into that one.
Perfect. That's exactly what I would say. Right. Some solid red bars here on the MACD, and a little more separation here with RSI right here. Right.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fighting VWAP too is what they were saying. So yeah, I can see that as well.
it's right at
Right at
VWAP. Okay.
1194. What's up?
Now let's see what SPY is doing. Right. So SPY, give
Oh
us some
yeah.
context.
Ooh.
So so the SPY is making that move down, but for the most part, this is, I would write this off as just bar coding consolidation over the past what I mean, 35, 40 minutes here, 50
Mhm.
minutes, right?
Yeah.
Massive consolidation. So when we go back to Snap, you would have to expect that, that's where we're going to get around this zone as well until we get a nice solid cross and or a nice candle below the 48 with, again, RSI separating and a solid red on the MACD. So I like a breakdown, STV. Definitely like a breakdown. So you wouldn't be getting into this.
Not yet, no. I would keep a close eye on SPY if it broke if it can come down and break through right around 391. That's where I have a level kind of drawn out on it. And again, when you're trading a single stock, what you have to think about is you're trying to enter into a position that is going to have a better risk reward than if you were to just trade the overall market. So right now, with how we're looking at Snap, the SPY looks like it could easily start to break down here, and start that move back to the downside. But you also have to think about, okay, well, if Snap is its own animal and it's a single stock, well, you have to think about where is that risk reward there with this specific stock. Now, you've seen it
Yeah.
already come down and test that 200 EMA once today. It could easily do it again, but it's going to be predicated on what the overall market wants to do in the last hour and 15 minutes of the day. And you're kind of getting down to crunch time too. It's getting towards that time of the day where it's like you don't really have enough time to let these trades fully play out. You're right on the borderline there.
I'm with you there. Power hour just doesn't mean the same thing anymore.
Doesn't hit the same.
Yeah. So I just also want to reference a level here. If you guys are wondering why I drew the blue pill line, as what we call it here in our community, it's we do have a level that was established from 2 trading days ago, and it seems to be a level that actually affects it. You see that there? You see price
Hmm.
action below the level here. It comes up and it's just like, no, breaks up, comes right back down. Right now it's consolidating right at this level. So, you know, e- essentially what you're looking for is some red on the histogram and a solid candle through this level. That is the only way I'm going to take this. Otherwise, it could very well work against you. RSI pops, breaks above its moving average, and then ta-da! Now it's making that move off, and it's using the level at 1197 as support. But
Hmm.
again, it's everything is relying on the SPY, and we know that the SPY has been a mad person this week, an absolute mad person this week.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, all right. So, sour hour. I like that, mine chain. I
You
like
might get
sour
that.
hour. All right. Coming up, Invictus Dash. You want to go ahead and give Dash a breakdown here? Let's do this.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I would say no, absolutely not. No, no, absolutely not. Okay, so this one just crossed down, bounced off the 200. The EMA, the 48 and the 13 are essentially the same value right now. So EMA sandwich, this one is not something I would touch.
Yeah. So basically, Invictus is saying for a cross up in 6 bars. Okay. Now, by virtue of doing this live stream, I don't want to discredit our amazing artificial intelligence here, right? but our artificial intelligence also forces us to be better traders and far more observant because we need to check its work. All right. And when he's right in a big way. But do you know
That's what
who's
it is.
massively right? You know who's got real big dick energy? Excuse my French.
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras.
Yeah. That thing's a
Pythagoras.
monster. Yeah, I view Invictus as like it makes you more of what you already are. So if you get a really, really solid alert on it and you know how to identify that it is a very solid alert, you're gonna absolutely crush the trade. But it's very similar to normal 1348 too. You can't just willy-nilly take every single one that you see. You still have to do some
Yes.
analysis on it and say, okay, this is what we're looking at here. This is where my target is, supported resistance. Where's the trend of the day? How's the market doing? Make your decision.
Yes. Yes. I'm not liking this one. And what this is also highlighting, guys, is the market is literally stagnant. It's stale.
Mhm.
Okay. And this is an opportunity for you to practice restraint. All right. And, just be observant. Practice restraint and be observant. Do not force trades. The trades are not there. The EMAs, the setup, the indicators, MACD, ADX, they're letting you know, hey, the trade's not there. Right. Now, again, Invictus is going to go ahead and triangulate. He's going to do his geometries. Okay. But those geometries will not overcompensate for the dynamics of human emotion that's at play right now, because there's a lot of fear in the market. There's a lot of money being taken off the table, right? And there's a lot of, dare I say it, STV, can I say it, please, 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 can I say it?
What are you gonna say?
There's a whole lot of manipulation going on right now, right? Because
Yeah.
it's every man for himself right now. Everyone is scrambling. And I'm going to go ahead and personify something. Hey, STV, did you hear me talk about it on the stream earlier today, that the spy is literally a human being, a person? And
It is.
yeah, watch this. I'm going to show you something, right? Because if I was a human being with a shit ton of money, I would do it exactly like this. Okay, so let's talk about this level here, because this level was essentially drawn out when you called it out here, right?
Mhm.
This was a level from,
Yeah, the low of the
uh,
day. Yeah.
yeah, right? So now let's give it some context, right? Every single time, since we hit that low of the day on the 13th, right? Every single time we hit that low, it bounces, right?
Bounce.
And so let's say if you were a deep pocket SOB, right? And you were baiting the crap out of somebody, you would go ahead and, yeah, just dump it, right? Secure that bag, run it up.
Mhm.
You start selling some hopium here, right? And then you dump it again, right back to that level, right? And then you're like, hey, oh, I remember this. This was just like yesterday. Let me buy it all up. And then here we go. Watch this. Market open, dumped right there once again, runs right back up, and then dumps right again. Gives him a little more than he deserves, right?
Mhm.
I swear, this is a person. It, it,
It
it
is.
literally looks like a person who's fucking with this line right here.
That's why so many people just trade SPY and stick to like either one or a small group of stocks, because once you understand how they move and how they respect different levels, it
Yeah.
becomes a cheat code. It gives you a better edge. Let me see. We were about to I was gonna say something, I forgot. Yeah,
You
Spy's
have
in a
another
weird spot.
Invictus.
Again, if you guys have already locked in some decent gain state, there's no reason to fuck around in the market right now. Go do something. It's Thursday. Thirsty Thursday, go to happy hour, do something fun. No reason to give back any gain.
Well, let's go ahead and look at that AMD really quickly. There's another AMD alert apparently.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's coming right down to VWAP right now. It's got like
this
15 more
alerted
cents.
at 250. This could be interesting. Do you have any type of confidence in the chips right now? Like, or do you feel like the chips are stacked against the chips?
I hate to say it, but I think they've got more downside here. I just do. Like, especially with coming into all the nonsense that we could see in the next few months, I think it could be a bit gnarly, which sucks because I have a large AMD position. But again, it's long term. It doesn't really
Yeah.
affect anything right now. But yeah, I think so, especially with all the nonsense that you've seen with um between the US and China about the chips, the supply chain nonsense that we're continuing to see, and then just the overall macroeconomic environment. It's like things do have more downside left. It's a matter of, okay, where is the pain going to stop and where's the light at the end of the tunnel going to come in? Because right now we don't have one.
Okay. So, by virtue of looking at AMD here, Pythagoras, excuse me, Invictus, is coming back to shut me up. He was like, "How dare you speak badly of me?"
How could you? He's like, oh, he said it's going up. Nope.
he's, he, he's about to Optimus Prime my ass right now.
He is.
Um,
If it slips view off, it could come down lower. Spy's dying below that line a little bit right here.
oh boy, there we go. This is interesting. We do have this level here, massive consolidation previous to consolidating at the 200 with AMD. That consolidation happened at 75.95, and all of that happened before noon. So if we're going to see AMD come down, we can see it come
Just
down.
tap
Now
view
let's
off
go ahead
there.
and get a macro perspective on AMD. Oh my God. This, I feel really bad. I feel
Doesn't
really
look
bad.
good.
I feel really bad for anyone who's bullish on chips right now. Ah, that's no bueno.
No. See, I'm not gonna buy more because then it's just my average will just go sky high. It'll be
Ah,
over the long term, it's gonna be fine.
eh, what's your average? You're like somewhere in like the 20s to 30s over there?
12. It was the first
What?
stock I ever bought.
When you
It's
were
like
like what,
12 something. It's
4?
like,
I mean,
"What?" I bought it back in high school.
wow. Okay, you got everybody jumping on the early right now. They're like, where did he buy it?
Yeah, it was in the 12s.
Oh man. So mine team says STV, why not sell some? No, it's part of his long-term strategy here.
Yeah. It's the
Long-term
tax stuff. I
strategy.
would only sell things in my long term that are down for taxes. If they're up big,
Okay.
it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Okay. Well, guys, we've been hanging out for about 42 minutes. We promised to keep these streams short. Uh, by the way, we're showing proof of concept, but we want these videos to be watchable. So if you need to catch an encore, make sure you check out Trade 1348 on YouTube. And we will see you guys tomorrow. For those who want those one-on-ones,
Yep.
those will be fun, but we got a stern message for you. Please be ready. Please have your plays in question. Please have your camera. Please have your video. We had a lot of people who were just jumping on for the sake of like jumping on. They were like, woo!
They were like,
It's
"What's
still
this?
fun. Yeah. Like, hey, what's up? Let's
What's up,
talk about
guys?" It's like,
flashlights.
"Hey." But yeah, we're gonna keep doing those. We know you guys like them a lot. I think the like the one-on-one, two-on-one attention is definitely helpful. Especially where you can hear it directly, like getting more time. This is why we're doing things. Because I feel like if we're just like on a stream or sometimes it's just a different interaction. But when we come one-on-one with you guys, I think it resonates a little bit more.
Gio says, would you be able to help us out on an actual trade if you happen to be in a trade at that moment in time?
Mhm.
Right? Remember, it's a learning experience. Don't use this as a cheat code. They're like, wait, we got STV in game. They're gonna help us with the trade. I'm gonna YOLO 20 grand. Let's see if we can double this bitch. No, that's not what we're gonna do.
That's not how we trade either. We're not just
Oh
like
man,
boom, 100%. It's like if it happens, it happens. Like,
yeah. Oh man. Let's see. All right, Dimmitson says I got in on put 77 for 930 and up 15%. Have PTD, so only have one trade left. So wanted your thoughts on this play as a swing. Did you play it on a
Don't, guys,
5-minute?
you're this is okay. This is what this is like almost. I'm going to give you guys an analogy here. This is what you've done. When you get an account and you're going to try and day trade, but you're in a margin account that doesn't have 25,000, you've literally gone to go play a football game, but before you go to the football game, you tell your buddy, like, just hit me as hard as you can in the leg with a baseball bat. And then you still go out and play. You're giving yourself a handicap. There's no reason to be in a margin account if you don't have 25,000. Even if you have more than 25,000, if you're not using the benefits of a margin account, then you shouldn't be in one anyway. The only thing is, even when you follow the rules that we're providing all of the time, it gives you 10 trades per day. And even that, if you're using that many, is too many trades. Because if you take 10% of your account, make 10% on an options trade, you're up 1% for the day. You compound that, you're good to go. Go to Thirsty Thursday. Do something.
For me, I just keep it very, very simple. If my thesis is on the 5-minute, then I'm a 5-minute man. That's the game I'm playing. I'm not treating it as a swing. So the advice: listen to STV here. You may want to consider going cash. That would actually remove a lot of limitations for you, especially if this is the only game in town for you. Especially playing options, you get next day settlement. So I mean, I really don't see an advantage of margin on what we do here.
Yeah, unless you're selling credit spreads against the cross, like, it doesn't make sense. Which nobody's doing. Like, there's no reason to have one.
All right, we're trying to teach people crosses. Let's not make it even more complicated.
Yeah. Lever up, YOLO! Let's buy zero day
I want to learn that too.
Like, just lever up. No, they're already levered. That's what they used to think about with options too.
Yeah. Scar wants to know where's his wrench. I gave you a wrench. I think I just did. Lord. Oh man. Maybe I gave the wrong Scar a wrench. Maybe it was your doppelganger. Uh-oh. Anyways. All right, guys, we are signing out. Thanks for tuning in. We promise you each and every day you're going to learn something, right? But more importantly, we are going to put major emphasis on being smart, trading smart, okay, and preventing you from yellowing. I think that's the most important part. I think, you know what I think? I think everyone in our Discord, everyone in this chat has a YOLO experience. And I think that YOLO experience has probably caused more emotional damage than, we would like to even admit to. So therefore, myself and STV, we're not your therapy. We're not giving financial advice. We're giving you fucking therapy. Just to help you become a better trader and combat your mistakes. So, STV, lead him away.
All right, guys, be careful. Market's going to be wild for the rest of the week. We'll see you guys live. If you guys are new and aren't in there with us yet, make sure you guys check out those links. We've got them around here. Come join us. I mean, we've got a lot to offer you guys. We got all the algorithms, the live streams, the curriculum. Let's do it, man. We have a lot of people having a lot of success. It's the best place to come to learn to trade, man. It's a really an awesome community.
Absolutely. All right, fellas. Be safe out there.